Hello, my name is Dan Dodds. I'm the principal attorney at the Dodds Law Firm in Surprise, Arizona. And this morning we're going to finish up the third video of a three-part series entitled Prevent Your Children from Becoming Collateral Damage. Let's pick up our rules where we were talking about. Today we're going to talk about Rule 5, 6, and 7. I'm calling them rules because I think they're that important. Rule number 5. Maintain your children's sense of normalcy. Maintaining the children's normal routines in the middle of this really kind of scary, frightening time in their life is very important to their health and their mental health. So what do I mean maintain the normal routines? Well, if you have a homework schedule, a time for dinner, a time they must go to bed, a time they will be expected to wake up and get ready for school, stay with those schedules no matter whether both parents are in the home until the divorce is over or they've moved out and we have two separate households that's sharing the children. Maintain those schedules. If they are assigned doing household chores, or that it's rotated, or someone has to wash the dishes and the other one has to take them out of the dishwasher, maintain that normalcy. If you eat at 6 o'clock every night, then continue to eat at 6 o'clock every night. Don't eat at 4 and 3:30 and 8 o'clock at night, 20 minutes before they're supposed to be in bed. And speaking of bedtime, stay with that. Stay with whatever time you expect your children to lay their heads on those pillows. Continue to do that. That may be difficult because they're upset, they don't want to do it, but trust me, long term, that's going to make a big difference. And if you want to know how that's going to make a big difference and you haven't seen videos 1 and 2 on this series, back up and look at those. Rule number 6, continue to be a positive role model. Now, that's based on the assumption you were to begin with. But if you weren't, that's the role that you owe your children to play at this time. So, what does that look like, being a positive role model? That's exhibiting 24/7 a strong positive attitude towards your children. If you get all freaked out, if you lose control of your emotions, if your voice is out of control, that's a sign that you're mentally collapsing. But here's the problem. As bad as that may be, your children will mentally collapse as well. We don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. So you've got to work ever so hard to keep a smile on your face, a soft tongue as you're speaking about your spouse to them or around them, and a very positive attitude towards your children. Don't give them any reason to believe that you don't continue to love them to death and that mommy or daddy, whoever might be on the other side of this discussion, loves them and will care for them too. Rule number 7, monitor your children's social and academic performance during the divorce. Here's my general rule of thumb, how you build a foundation for doing that. At some point, these children need to be told of what's going on. And you both need to meet, you need to do it together, you need to have it planned out, who's going to say what, who's going to speak first, are we not going to interrupt each other? It ought to be very predictive of who's speaking so the children don't get confused or think this is just another argument going on. So, be in control of your emotions. It's emotionally hurtful, I get that. But losing your emotions, crying, your voice getting crazy, these are all unsettling events for your children. So you want to breathe deep, For the sake of your children, lose that anger, lose that disappointment, and speak to them in a controlled way on a prearranged, if you're going to talk about how things are going to work, or daddy's moving out, or mommy's going out, tell them that, but let them know what's going on. I don't mean to be insulting. I certainly do not. But many times people do not act very adult. You must be the mature, responsible adult in front of those children. Do not reveal any anger. Don't speak about your disappointment. Well, that's self-evident. Or don't try and lay blame on each other. Sometimes things are as they are. Marriages that were once very healthy have become very unhealthy, or they've just grown to the recognition that they just simply don't love each other anymore. And it's best for the children not to be living in an environment that leads to continual nasty discussions, anger issues, backstabbing, vocal comments to the children about the other spouse. Don't do that. And if you're doing it, stop it. Reassure the children that they're loved by you, each parent, and reinforce that each one of those children will be taken care of by both parents. They will get to spend time with both parents. They will get to do fun things with both parents. And typically, that's the way it works out. Maybe 5% of the time somebody's in prison and that doesn't work out that way. But generally speaking, you as parents have a responsibility to parent those children in a positive way that won't make this be the worst traumatic experience they've ever seen in their life. And if you, again, please watch video 2 to talk about what happens to children that are in a disconnected, chaotic environment, many times, which a divorce is. Well, again, thank you for spending some time with me. If there's anything I can do to discuss these issues in more depth, or your issues in your pending divorce, feel free to reach out and talk to me. I'd be more than glad to meet with you. Have a great day, and I hope this information over the 3-part series has been helpful and will prevent your children from being the collateral damage of a divorce.